So, as I said, this is my favorite part. I love visual aids. I love PowerPoint. I think that when you're talking about science, it's almost impossible to give a presentation without some sort of visual aid. Because science is complicated, and we're not that good at describing things with only our words. And I don't know about you, but I cannot draw. So PowerPoint is a savior for me. Having said that, though, it's worth thinking about whether PowerPoint or Keynote or Prezi or whatever, LaTeX, whatever software you want to use, is the way to go. Because sometimes a whiteboard or a chalkboard is the best solution. I think if you're, for example, working through a series of equations, that could be really hard with PowerPoint, but could be incredibly powerful on a whiteboard. And it's actually harder to give a talk with a whiteboard. So if you, for example, are trying to impress somebody and you have mad whiteboard skills, that's a way to do it. Because giving a good whiteboard talk is hard. But I love visual aids. And I love them, one, because I'm a visual learner. And so for me, they help me pay attention. They help me understand. And I know that there are other visual learners out there. But two, research has showed us that if we match a visual cue with a verbal cue, people are more likely to remember. The problem is, if there's a mismatch between those two cues, if your slides don't match exactly what's coming out of your mouth, you'll distract people, and they'll be less likely to remember. So hitting that sweet spot is incredibly important. So because I love PowerPoint so much, and I know these things to be true, I have come up with 3 guiding principles that I use for every talk that I give. And because it's my talk, I get to be lofty in my title. So the first, perhaps unsurprisingly, is audience first. And that means that every single thing that you put on your slides is for your audience. Your slides are not your notes. They're not cue cards for you. And I recognize that that is asking a lot of you. It's asking you to be much more prepared and much more aware of your material because you don't have that cue up on the slide. You can, however, have the cue in notes or in presenter view on your screen if you feel like you need that backup. But everything that's up on the slide should be for your audience. And that often translates into having less stuff up on the slide is more effective. And it's worth asking yourself, too, is everything that's on my slides that's for my audience appropriate for them? Are they going to understand it? And we'll get to that more in a minute. Second, I would encourage you to be creative. Every time you open up PowerPoint, it gives you boxes to fill in. It is just as easy to delete those boxes as it is to fill them in. So just making the choice to have a picture or to avoid a bulleted list is enough to make your presentation stand out because it's a little bit different. And you will have more fun. And finally, I must ask you to consider aesthetics. And I mean that in 2 ways. First, your slides should be a very happy, friendly place for the audience to rest their eyes upon. That means no terrifying color combinations. That means no teeny tiny font. That means no horrifying, overwhelming slides. It also means that in every room there is somebody like me. And that person is totally anal retentive, obsessive compulsive, insane. And if you have one word misspelled, one thing misaligned, one random dot that Excel put there and we don't know how to get rid of it, that is all that I will see. And I will be incredibly distracted for the rest of your presentation because I'm watching for the next time that it happens. And I promise you, there is one of me in every room. And I would hate for that one crazy person to be your advisor, or the person that you're asking for a job, or the person you're trying to get funding from. So take that extra 10 minutes to really polish your slides. Put them up on a big screen if you can. Get a friend to look at them, because I know we all hit that point where we're not even seeing them anymore. Take that time to make them look really polished and professional.